So welcome everybody to the second section of the Healing Smile. Let's start with a practice just to summarize what we did the other day and what we've been doing over the last however many years you've been living, which is basically breathe. And in any form you've been taught, or in any way it has been possible just to cultivate a loving mindful presence. Yesterday I was receiving some teachings from Garchen Rinpoche. He gave an empowerment on something called the Shutro deities, which is something related to the practice of transcendence and death, and it's incredible to how somebody with his experience, he's 80 something now, he's been teaching for decades, and every time it comes down to the same thing, so it's so beautiful to see how somebody with his wisdom just reinforces the simplicity of the teachings of just being present, cultivating a loving, mindful awareness that is clear about one's presence in the world, and how that can be very joyful regardless of the external circumstances, and it can be of great service and great benefit to others. So that's really the essence of the Healing Smile, and the essence of all our practices. So it's very exquisite. So at the beginning of every practice, at the beginning of every moment, anything that you're doing, the key point, the pith instruction, the secret of secrets is just to simply arrive to the present moment. So it's very distinct. The mind might have been doing a lot of things during the day, and maybe it was very focused on doing things, because sometimes we can be extremely focused, you're doing a task, or you're driving, or and the mind is very focused on that thing, but still focused on an external object. It's not focused on the presence of your being. So this kind of arriving that we put at the beginning of our practice, and that it's really the key. We'll be discussing, I'll be sharing some of my thoughts on this during today, but the key of any relationship that is a good relationship, a healthy relationship, is really based on the quality of one's presence. There's really no, you cannot have a relationship without presence. You might be together and you might go together places, but unless there's presence, and it's a clear presence, and ultimately it's a loving presence, there's no, it's a very superficial relationship. So you arrive to the present moment, and that is the victory of victories. It's just, oh wow. You recognize your sense of I-ness in this very present moment. And then naturally, when you recognize your presence in the present moment, because our life is made of, our life is the expression of relationships. So the first relationship that you encounter is the relationship of your awareness with your physicality, with your physical body. So you are here, and you say, where am I here? Where am I? Oh, my awareness is being hosted in this physical body. Our physical body is like a guest house. So then naturally you become aware of your body, and you become aware of the world where that body is. And this is very, very unsophisticated. This is very, very unsophisticated. It's not something flashy. It's not like, it's just, wow. This is my awareness. I'm aware of my being, and I'm aware that my being is embodied and enshrined, in this holy grail, which is my physical body, which is the expression of the divine itself. And it's in relation to this beautiful world of contrast. So that puts us at the threshold of the practice, of any practice or any activity. It's awareness embodied in this world. So that puts us at the threshold of the practice, at the threshold of any activity, and there we have like it's like a crossroads. If we go to if we maintain this state of awareness with its natural up and downs, but if we maintain, the more we maintain this state of awareness, the more we live with the full expression of our potential. As soon as we start losing that sense of awareness, of being embodied in this physical body, which is a guest house, in this physical world that is ever changing, then we become blind to the essence of our being, and we start getting into pickles, into emotional pickles, physical pickles, like all these issues that are that make us suffer and make us feel bad. So that's really the very summary of everything that we're doing. So the idea of the healing smile is that it helps us reconnect with this experience of presence, and it helps us ground ourselves in the physical body, and then we start smiling. We feel present, we feel in the physical body, and then from our heart we send this smile down the heart, into the abdomen, down the legs, to the feet, and our loving smile expands down into the earth as big roots that go deep into the earth, deep and wide. So they ground us in this physical reality, which is one of the many, many possibilities. We come, and then at some point we go. And when we go, it's almost like, when I take my kids Halloween, walking around the houses, like this Halloween walk, like, there's so many houses. They don't cry because they left a house, and they're actually excited because the next house is coming. Let's see what kind of candy they have there, So that's kind of the idea of the physical body. The physical body is like, it's used for these experiences, and at some point, the karma in this physical body is used up, and the consciousness moves on to another experience. So this is extremely precious, extremely important to keep this in mind, because then our relationship to the physical body, our relationship to the physical dimension, our relationship to the death of those that we love, it totally transforms itself. So for that we need to be grounded, because when we are more grounded, then naturally the earth smiles, and we feel this loving expression of energy that ascends from the earth around us, ascends up our legs, up our abdomen, our chest, and we feel that energy of the earth ascending in our heart, and there we smile a bit more, we send more love, and allow that energy go up the center of the body into the crown, and then expand up from the crown into this beautiful sun, this beautiful sphere of luminous energy, vibrant healing energy, that is 3 or 4 feet, whatever feels comfortable above the head. And we're using these two polarities. We're using the polarity of the earth, what it grounds us, it gives us a substance, it gives us a sense of comfort, a sense of protection, a sense of nourishment. And then we are connecting, enticing this healing energy of wisdom, of awakening above our head, which is what we call the heavenly energy. And we smile to it. And as we smile to it, naturally it shines, because usually when you smile to people or to things, they respond in a positive way. And this beautiful light, golden light, rainbow light, whatever is easier for you to visualize, expands from the sun above the head in all directions and starts surrounding you. It showers in the front of your body, on the back of your body, just around you, on the sides, in between your arms, like between the body and the arms, the shoulder, armpits, between the legs, below the feet. This beautiful, exquisite energy of healing, so simple. The beauty of this practice is, like, this is not something that you're imagining. It's not something that is really not there. Like what we call the earth is actually, in this case, where we are grounding ourselves, is actually energetic aspects of our energy structure that are in the bottom. And the heavens, the heavenly dimension, are energetic aspects of our energetic structure that are higher than our physical body. So this is something that belongs to us. That's why we can access it so quickly. And then there's this beautiful sense of vibrancy, of purity, of cleanliness, of these pulsing energies that are a bit denser. There's this sense of relishing the world, because now our world around us, the room where we are, our house, our city, our whole world is also shining with this ascending light and descending light that they mix. These two polarities. Most of the emotional issues that we have, most of the health problems that we have, most of the worldly problems that we have to do with these two polarities of our being, the more earthy, the more heavenly, the more female and male, which we both, all of us have, regardless of our gender. When they separate, the inner energy of creative energy becomes numb. So through smiling into the earth and inviting that energy to go into the heavens, and then feeling the heavenly energy spreading around us, spreading into our projects, into our life, mingling with that profound experience of the earthly energy, then we naturally feel very nice. This is like this. So, I don't know if you're feeling it as you practice, or, I've been doing these practices for, I don't know, 25 years, something like this, maybe more, close to 30 years. And this is like this. There's no doubt. Like, one of my teachers says, you can take this to the bank. If you take the time and you smile deep into the earth with love, and just let the energy ascend as you soften your body and go through you and input more love, and smile into the heavens above your head, symbolized by this sun, like this sun of wisdom, of heavenly energy. And it descends, they mingle, and you'll rest. And then if you have your eyes closed, you open your eyes. And everything that you are perceiving, everything, it doesn't matter. Now I'm here in the basement and I see toys, I see screens, I see chairs. But if you're looking through the window and you're seeing people, anything that you're experiencing is the union of these two polarities. Like there's nothing, otherwise it could not be, So then your understanding of the world, your understanding of the experience of who am I, that's yourself, it starts really being transformed in a profound way that is extremely playful. It's like everything that you perceive is the result of the union of these two polarities that are like the cosmic lovers, very playful, very joyful of seeing each other, and in their contrast, in their exchange of lives, manifesting all this. All these of which we are aware, even imagine like all the ocean shores in the world, a normal intellect is aware of not even a small grain of sand, of the potentiality of vibrations and realities that is in life. So that's extremely beautiful, extremely precious. And then you just naturally rest for as long as you want in this experience of this union, of this healing smile shining on you. But basically the healing smile is shining on the world around you with this message, this is a beautiful world. This world is infinitely abundant. What limits our capacity to experience the beauty and the joy of the abundance of this world is our mental patterns. What limits our ability to enjoy ourselves is our mental patterns, our training. What is it that we are focusing on? And the foundation for all this is the quality of our presence. To have a good time, you have to show up. That's pretty much, often that's the only thing you have to do, to show up in awareness. And naturally, as you show up in awareness, so the next thing you have to do, which is the next level of the healing smile that we'll start doing in a little bit, is just to let go of tension. Simply to let go of tension. Not to try to fix up all the things in the world so you feel at ease, but just to feel at ease with whatever the world brings. And then from there, just do whatever you deem appropriate. And I'm well aware that what I'm saying is not new. I mean, you all knew this. And if you said, oh no, it's the first time I hear this, I'm sure it at least makes a lot of sense. So if we know it, why are we not doing it all the time? Because when we are at that crossroad, we have habituated ourselves to take the path of being distracted from our own nature. And then internally we intuit, oh wow, I intuit naturally that there's this exquisite beauty to my being, but we forget that it's actually our own ability to generate that. It's not conditioned by the world, but because we forget, then we start putting demands on the world, to fulfill those needs, to be everything easy, to to have this constant sense of comfort. And then is where our relationships start feeling shaky. So the first relationship that we experience, or the first relationship that we have to be very mindful of, is the relationship of our awareness with our sense of being. Which means our awareness of being, like, so there's being, but being is pretty much 99% of the time we are unaware of our being, you know? So when you are able to turn your awareness to the sensation of being, what we did at the beginning, this arriving, this is the main fundamental, the most fundamental relationship of all, because based on the quality of that relationship, you feel calm, you feel at ease, you feel joyful, you feel clear, even in the moments that are challenging, which, you know, very often there are. And then you can relate to others from there. And really to enjoy yourselves, I don't know, I mean, obviously I'm just sharing my experience. I recently turned 47, so suddenly I realized, oh, maybe my experience is starting to be worth something after all these years. I think that's the only benefit that I'm realizing of, you know, of this whole thing. I was thinking, oh man, I'm gonna turn 50 soon, you know, my mind was, and I said, well, I guess then whatever I'm saying already has enough experience, you know. So it's so funny. I'm reframing my own aging process. So, excuse me. So this is really at the fundamental core of everything, you know, of all relationships, all practices, all activities. This relationship between your awareness, which is Shakti, which is the goddess, and your being, which is pure consciousness, which by itself is inert, which is the God, which is Shiva, which is yang. So your awareness will be the yin aspect, your being will be the yang aspect. When they join, you have life. So when the healing smile descends and encounters the ascending energy of the loving earth, life is beautiful. So I intended to have a clear formal practice stating all the steps, but it's a bit difficult for me to follow structures today. I guess you get the point, you know. So at the beginning you activate a pure, you arrive and then you activate a pure motivation, and then you just mingle your being with this exquisite sense of presence and the sense around you, and then you just rest there. A person full of wisdom, a person with full wisdom, is full of pure love, compassion, mercy, exquisite gentleness, and a hidden power and strength. Love and luster shine through her brilliant eyes. A person with full wisdom has not a bit of selfish interest in him and is absolutely free of worries, him or her. Difficulties, troubles, tribulations, sorrows, and anxieties under all circumstances is free from worries, difficulties, troubles, tribulations, sorrows, and anxieties under all circumstances. A person with full wisdom is a liberated sage, absolutely free from egoism, doubt, fear, and grief. These are the 4 important signs that indicate that one has attained perfection.